Okay, thank you all for being here today. I'm Bill English, the CEO at Accurate Home Care. Joining me is Nicoleen Meyer, who's the Vice President of Clinical Services. And we are recording this session, so please make sure that you do not mention any confidential or HIPAA-based information in this call. We have a number of things to go over today, and I know that Nicoleen is raring to go. So, Nicoleen, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us today. Like Bill said, my name's Nicoleen Meyer. I'm the VP of Clinical Services here at Accurate. I'm also a registered nurse. I've been with Accurate for about 12 years now. I know some of you on this call I've met, but not everyone. Been here for about 12 years. I've been in home care in the Twin Cities since 2008. So absolutely love home care, and I'm so proud of what we get to do here at Accurate. In the past 12 years, there have been lots of changes, but there have also been lots of things that have stayed the same in that we're able to provide care to people in their homes, and that's such a wonderful thing to be able to do. So I just have a few updates for everyone today, and then I will certainly answer any questions that you may have. One update, if you are a part of our PCA services program, so your PCA providing care for a patient, there is a change to that program coming up here over the next year. I know that might seem strange or seem like a long time, but this is a process that has been in the works for about 5 years. The Department of Human Services, DHS in Minnesota, does not move very quickly on everything. And so they finally are ready to roll out this new program. It's called CFSS. I believe it stands for, oh, I should have looked this up between calls, Bill, Community or Consumer First Services and Supports, something like that. Anyway, so if you are a PCA provider, this means that you may have to complete a new training. It's online. It doesn't take too terribly long. It is something that we will pay you for. And if you are on the list of people who needs to do it, you should have received by now quite a few emails and maybe even a call from your clinical manager. The deadline to complete that training is approaching. It's in about 10 days. And the state of Minnesota says no ifs, ands, or buts. It's got to be done. So you will not be able to work as a PCA as of 10/1 if you have not completed that training. Other than that, there really won't be a whole lot of change to PCA services from the perspective of being a PCA for our patients. You'll still provide services and document through EBV on Can-Time Mobile, and so that will all stay the same. But just keep an eye on that if you are someone who needs to complete that training. We do also have some kind of open computer lab times here in the office. If you'd like some support or assistance with completing that, we're happy to help you with that too. So reach out to your clinical manager. That would be your best course of action. Moving on to our PDN or EHN service line, our nursing inpatient homes. We're really excited because after, COVID kind of reset, well, it reset kind of the world, but we did see some decline in that service line because there were people then who, kind of turned inward and did more things at home and did not have as many services and things like that. So what we're excited to see is that over the past few months in particular, we've actually added just a couple of new patients, but more importantly, we've added some new nurses, which is very exciting to finally see some movement in that service line. I think that's a huge thanks to the state of Minnesota finally passing some legislation to improve our reimbursement so that in turn we were able to improve the wages that we can offer to you for the amazing care that you're providing to our patients. So really exciting to see some movement and be able to improve staffing for some of our patients in different areas. There are still needs, and I want to be clear to acknowledge that we still have tremendous staffing needs. To that end, we continue to work with other home care agencies and continue to bolster our recruiting efforts and do whatever we can to attract more nurses to work at Accurate. But there is some exciting movement there. In addition, I'll bounce back a little bit to PCA. Another thing that we've been working on for the past probably couple of years is the opportunity for some PCAs to obtain an enhanced rate by completing some additional training. If your patient has complex PCA services, so that being, I believe, I should have looked it up, but I believe I'm going to go on memory. I think it's 12 hours a day or more of PCA services, or having particularly medically complex needs, that's determined by the assessor, not determined by Accurate. But you then, as the PCA working with that patient, could complete some additional training and then be eligible for an immediate increase to your base wage for PCA services. So that's called an enhanced rate. That's something that comes from DHS, and we're required to pass on to you. I believe it's a 7.5% increase. So it's substantial if you'll take the time to complete that additional training. So if you are a PCA and you are wondering if you're eligible for the enhanced rate, please reach out to your clinical manager on that as well. If you have been at Accurate for more than a year or two, you might remember back in the days we had Relias Learning, and we're really, really excited because Relias Learning is back. So we have access to that once again and are able to utilize that most right now. We've really rolled it out for our new employees coming on board. But if you would like to get access to that, go ahead and reach out to the office. We can get you connected and you can shop around in there for any classes that you might be interested in, and just be prepared for additional assignments in the future to come out of there for your ongoing learning. And we will be no longer utilizing rctclearn.net for our learning needs. If you have not been in Relias before, you will find that it's incredibly user-friendly, much more so than RCTC Learn. And there is a tremendous library in there. I think there are 2,000 courses available to you with various accreditations associated with them as well. So they're certainly great for CEUs if needed. So that's an option or opportunity that's out there for you that we worked really hard to bring back, because we know that that's something that our employees really valued. Also, I will just end by saying we have recently increased the number of nursing schools we're working with. So if you are a nurse and you have graciously given your time to work with a student, thank you. If you feel like your patient may be interested in hosting nursing students, please reach out to your clinical manager or reach out to me and let me know. But we have partnered with several nursing schools, primarily here in the Twin Cities metro area, just because of the population density. It makes it a little bit easier, but we've added this fall semester, just this semester, we've added 4 new schools. So we're almost doubling the number of nursing schools we're working with, which is super exciting. There's not always a lot of opportunity in nursing school curriculum to talk about home care as a career option. So when we get a chance to actually show students what it's like to work in home care, that's an opportunity we just can't pass up, because there's no better opportunity to show the world. And also it's almost like an extended job interview or a shadow day to be able to see what the job is really like. And we do hire a lot of students from the clinical experiences. So we're really excited to be able to offer that as well. And with that, I will pause and see what questions you might have for me. Okay, I don't see anybody coming off mute, so I'm guessing maybe no questions at the moment, but Bill, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you. You can always enter a question in the chat if you'd like. If you don't want to talk in front of other people, we're more than happy to read questions from the chat services. So just click on the chat icon in the upper ribbon there and enter your question, and we'll be happy to answer it that way. A couple of things from me. First of all, you're going to see us using CanTime more and more. CanTime is doing some very interesting and I think important updates to their platform, and you will find increased functionality in CanTime. And we're looking forward to partnering with them as they roll those new functionalities out and getting those baked into the various parts of what we do here at Accurate Home Care. Also, you might have noticed that we have more consistent marketing messages through social media and on our website. This is by design. This is intentional. We are trying to answer the question, why work at Accurate Home Care as opposed to another home care agency? And so at least once a week, uh, we have hired a firm to help us write and then post uh, 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 messages, for lack of a better term, that answers that question, and also to do some other things that we think will warm up our website and our social media. So you might want to make sure that you are following us on Facebook and LinkedIn and on Twitter. Guess it's now X, and just to kind of stay in touch with us um, that way. Let me stop here and see what kind of questions or thoughts you all might have. Some of you might, in fact, all of you should have received several messages about Tap Check. Tap Check is a new benefit that we have rolled out in the last 45 days, give or take. And it is a short term payroll program loan. So that if you need a quick $200, $300, whatever it is, um, you can um, you can go into Tap Check and borrow against your next paycheck up to a certain percentage. I want to say it's either 50 or 70% of what you have currently billed towards that next paycheck. So you might want to take a look at that. If I wouldn't advise using it all the time, but every once in a while, if you just need some groceries, or if you have a car repair bill or something like that, that might be a good way for you to get some of those expenses paid. And then, of course, it's deducted from your next paycheck. But we have that going on. So at this point, I'd like to just listen. This call is a quarterly call that is your chance to talk to Nicoleen and I about anything that's on your mind other than Viking Packer football. Since Nicoleen's a Packer fan and I'm a Viking fan, we don't want to get going on that right now. But if there's anything with home care, Accurate, our benefits, where we're going as a company, anything like that, this is your chance to have a direct conversation with us. And we would love to have that conversation with you. So we're just going to stop here and see what kind of questions or comments someone has. You can either unmute and talk, or you're welcome to enter your comments or questions in the chat. Okay. Well, I tell you what, if you are watching this video online after this is already done, if you're watching it there, you're welcome to call either Nicoleen or I at our main number, 763-633-3800, or you can email me, Bill English at accuratehomecare.com, or Nicoleen at Nicoleen Meyer, Meyer, at accuratehomecare.com, and we would be delighted to talk with you. So just make sure that you get a hold of us. If you have complaints, we want to hear those as much as questions and as much as, compliments. So we want to hear it all. And we're here to serve you and our patients. And we hope that you are delighted with your employment here at Accurate Home Care. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I will end the recording, and I hope you all go out and make it a great day. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.